I'm interviewing today Neil Blake, a renowned environmentalist and a friend of mine. We have some common interest in the marine area, and I'm delighted that Neil can join us. By way of introduction, I'd just like to read some of the background on Neil. I mean, he's commenced as a park ranger with the City of St Kilda, mostly involved in flora and fauna in 1985. He's a founder member of Earthcare, St Kilda, a whole heap of other programs in between. He then conceived the idea of the Eco Centre, City Eco Centre. He initiated some community gardens, and there's wonderful assets in inner city areas. He was appointed the first coordinator of the Eco Centre and has been a very, very busy man there ever since. In 2003 he was the co-author of Indigenous Plants of the Sandbelt, and I've got a copy of that. It's a great book. He was awarded an OAM in 2005 or 6 now, and he's recently established the point called Baykeepers program. So Neil's a great guy to talk with on matters of the environment, and I've got half a dozen questions I'd like to ask him today. Neil, welcome. Thank you very much for coming in. Number one question, what was it along your life story, or perhaps your heritage, that brought you to this Eco Centre and where you are as a person today?
I guess my background, or my family background, was in extraction industries and mining, and my grandparents were miners, and also though my father in particular was a sleeper cutter, so we lived in the bush and derived our income from that, and I even had a stint on sleeper cutting myself once, and growing up in the country though, you do actually pick up on changes that happen over your lifetime in terms of the environment, and particularly on the Murray River. Saw that change significantly in a very, very short space of time, from 1960 to the mid-1970s, I guess. And yeah, so it's clear that all of those changes that I witnessed were brought about by human activities, and quite clearly we had a choice in that. So I just felt that caring for the environment was really vital for a whole host of reasons, not just the ecology and the flora and fauna, but also the social impacts that environmental changes can bring about.
What is the Eco Centre and how is it funded?
Oh, well, the Eco Centre is a community managed not-for-profit organisation. It gets an annual grant from the City of Port Phillip to cover our basic operational costs to keep the building open, and paying the bills and utility bills and things like that. And but for projects and program development, we need to find funding from other sources, whether it be philanthropic trusts or state or federal government grants. Wherever we can. We don't steal any money though. That's the one thing we draw the line at, and we try to keep it honest.
What is your role there?
Well, currently I'm called the coordinator or director. But that involves a lot of things, from developing funding submissions and talking to potential partners, etc., and also putting out the garbage.
What?
I just thought I'd give you the cross for the full spectrum. Yeah, so.
Port Phillip Baykeeper, it's a rather august title, and that is the baykeeping thing, of course, is a worldwide movement. Can you
the Baykeeper is associated with the Waterkeepers Alliance, which began in the United States around about 30 years ago. Basically, the principle of the Waterkeepers is that you have community advocates and educators on waterways around the globe. That's the goal. So I've sort of taken on the task of developing the Port Phillip Baykeeper program, and obviously it's going to need a lot more than one baykeeper. So that's a challenge for me, is to bring together a network of people who can keep an eye on the bay and be an advocate for it, but also educate people about the values of it.
Now I'm dying to ask, and I hope he doesn't mind, but Neil, what is it with the white beard?
The three truths of what people are, there's the one that they think they are, and the one that other people think they are, and also the one that they actually are. So you know, I've probably got my own reasons for having a just letting the beard go. I guess it stems from I've done a bit of youth work in the past, and I think open and honesty is one of the key principles in life. And basically, I guess the message from this is just what you see is what you get. So that's my truth about why the beard is there. But you know, who knows what the actual reason.
What is a typical day's activity?
Well, there's an inevitable flood of emails to have a look at, but there's also, though, can be meetings. There's usually a meeting or two, or sometimes even three in any given day. But also we have an open door, though, you know, so people can walk in at any time and say what's going on here and what is this place. You know, so there's that constant sort of responding to inquiries or phone calls about who knows what. You know, somebody wants to know where to find penguins or whatever. But generally speaking, though, it's planning projects or talking to potential partners or existing partners, and building relationships with all sorts of individuals and groups.
What are the problems you see today for our society and the environment?
Well, they're pretty massive, really. I guess, though, the key problem that I see it is that not enough people actually appreciate what nature provides for them, and they're also distracted by the myriad sort of other entertainments and diversions that they get taken up with, very often legitimate things, you know, looking after kids and all, you know, making sure their kids are raised well and all that sort of stuff tends to get people focused on just work and things like that, which takes their attention away from just seeing what's actually happening on a broader scale into our environment. So I think communication is a big thing, and that's sort of what I guess the Baykeeper is trying to do, is actually by having a web presence, drawing people's attention not only to the unfortunate things that are happening in the environment, but also, though, to the beauty of it. You know, so that the people actually getting to connect and say, yeah, that's actually worth protecting, or, you know, I might actually do something about that. Because unless people are aware of the values, you know, they're not going to want to sort of take on the hard grind of a political campaign, or devote some of their leisure time to sort of a weeding bee or something that they can't see the point of.
What are your pet hates?
Pet hates? Well, that's a hard question. I can't say that I've actually got any.
It's a nice thing.
Well,
you're lucky.
Yeah.
Is there any, Neil, are there any particular points you might like to make to our audience that I just haven't been able to cover in the questions?
Well, I guess, you know, they would be like me, having possibly many grandchildren to be thinking about and what their future is going to be. And they may even have a little bit of time on their hands now. So I think it'd be great if there are more people that I call the grey greenies actually get together and start really becoming active for the future and looking after the environment. And also connecting their grandkids up with the environment as well. One of the things that I've witnessed is that it's very difficult to get young people involved in managing community organisations, for example, because they've got all those other exciting things to do. But the social connections and the satisfaction out of pulling off a good environmental project is something that us older folk can actually really enjoy.
I think we're particularly fortunate to have had Neil here today. He's a great bloke, and I hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did. Thanks.